Hi, this is Kiran. Let us learn about gas law applications now. But before going to gas law applications, what is gas law? Of course, we learned in the earlier modules. The gas law is the flux of net electric field through a closed surface area is total charge enclosed by it divided by epsilon naught. That it is phi is equals to circular integral of E bar dot ds bar, that is also equals to q in by epsilon naught. Now, let us learn some applications of gas law. Before going to these applications, you must be knowing that what a hollow shape and a conducting solid shape. A hollow shape and a conducting solid shape behaves similar with respect to charge distribution as well as electric fields. Please remember once again, a hollow shape and a conducting solid shape. It's a very important note, please remember. A hollow shape and a conducting solid shape behaves similar with respect to charge distribution and electric fields. Let us learn it now. Observe the clipping carefully. Now, let us consider uniformly charged shell. Let us observe the video carefully, please. Yes, there is a uniformly charged shell. How it appears? Please observe. Yes, it is a charged shell, but it is hollow. Means that the total charge is on the surface. Now, charged conducting solid sphere. Observe it carefully. Of course, the video. It is a charged conducting solid sphere. Charged conducting. If the material is conducting of any solid shape, the total charge accumulates on the surface. Please remember that. If the material is conducting of any solid shape, the total charge accumulates on the surface. Please remember that. Let us observe now. Yes, the total charge is being accumulated on the surface. Because, why because? Because it is conducting solid sphere. Yes. Now here, if you consider the cross section, in the previous case, I mean charged shell. Here in this case, I mean conducting solid sphere. In both the cases, where is the charge, total charge? On the surface only. It is irrespective whether the material is inside or not. One is hollow, one is solid. But the solid shape what we considered here is conducting. Because of that material property, the charge is accumulated on the surface. Please remember the material what we used here for this solid sphere is conducting material. Now, if it is non-conducting and is being charged somehow, what will happen? The charge will be distributed uniformly. Let us observe the clipping carefully once again. Charged non-conducting solid sphere. Observe it. Yes. How the charge is distributed? Through the entire solid sphere. Through the entire material, the charge is being distributed. Now, in the first case, there is no charge inside. Charge is on the surface only. In the second case, there is no charge inside. The charge is on the surface only. That is why when we discuss about electric field, when we discuss about charge distribution, this hollow shape and conducting solid shape behaves similar. Whereas here, uniformly distributed charge inside. In the third case, The charge is inside. It is uniformly distributed. There is no charge outside or on the surface. Now, note, Gauss law application and electric field discussion is same for uniformly charged shell and charged conducting solid sphere, but different for charged non-conducting solid sphere. Now, electric field of charged shell of radius r and charge q. What for the electric field is? The electric field is of charged shell. I mean the first shape of radius r and charge q. Have you remembered that shape? Let us observe the shape once again so that you can recollect the knowledge. Yes. Let us consider the cross section of the shell. Isn't it? How beautiful it is. It is hollow where the total charge is on the surface. Now, here, just for the sake of the theorem, let us consider the cross section now. Yes, there is a center, there is a cross section where on the surface the charge is given. Yes, able to understand? Where is the charge? On the surface. Anyhow, it is hollow. The shape considered here is hollow. Now, for this charged shell, we are going to discuss about electric field outside, electric field on the surface, electric field inside the shell. There will be many cases. Don't worry about that. One by one we will discuss. First case, when the location is outside. What I mean to say, there is a charged shell. There is a charged shell of radius capital R and charge small q. Then somewhere means outside, the distance between that location and the center is small r. Somewhere outside, how much is the electric field? That we are going to discuss now. Now, already we learnt this Gauss law, right? Now, there is Gaussian sphere. There is Gaussian sphere. Passing through that point considered, let us consider Gaussian sphere. Passing through that considered point, let us consider Gaussian sphere. Now, very obviously, you can say that, anyone can say that, anyone can convince that. How much is the charge inside the Gaussian sphere? What do you mean by Gaussian sphere? First of all, it is an imaginary sphere. To get the theorem, we are imagining a sphere, that is Gaussian sphere, to apply the Gauss's law. To apply the Gauss's law. What is Gauss law? Total flux through an enclosed area is charge inside q in by epsilon naught. Have you remembered that? Yes, hope so. Now here, to apply Gauss law, we have constructed a Gaussian sphere. Where from? Passing through that point given. Where is that point? Outside the shell. When the point is outside the shell, at a distance r from the center, we are going to find electric field. Consider the Gaussian sphere. Now, Gauss law. What Gauss law says? Flux is equals to circular integral of E bar dot ds bar. The same thing. Flux is equals to q in by epsilon naught. Clubbing both. circular integral of E bar dot ds bar is equals to Qn by epsilon naught. If you consider both the conditions, you will be getting a common condition. What is that? Circular integral of E bar dot ds bar is equals to Qn by epsilon naught. Now, yes, E bar circular integral of ds bar is equals to Qn by epsilon naught. That is equals to E bar circular integral of ds bar. What does it mean? Circular integral of ds bar. What is first of all ds? A small considered differential of area. Then what is the circular integral? Total enclosed area. What is the total enclosed area of Gaussian sphere? Total enclosed area of Gaussian sphere is 4 pi r square. Here r is smaller. Please remember. R is smaller. What is the radius of that shell? Radius of that shell is capital R. Don't take capital R here. Here, for the Gaussian sphere, we are taking small r because it is a variable. Don't bother whether it is small r or capital R. Capital R is a definite quantity, which is the radius of the shell. Now, small r is a variable, which is the radius of the Gaussian sphere. Now, anyhow, coming to this electric field, E bar circular integral of ds bar is equals to Qn by epsilon naught. Implies E bar circular integral of ds bar is 4 pi r square. What is that? That is equals to Qn by epsilon naught. Now here E bar is equals to Qn by, bring this 4 pi r square this side, it comes into denominator, Qn by epsilon naught 4 pi r square. So now the electric field at the required point. Where is that required point? Outside. So E outside is equals to kq by r square. What is k here? 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. See, in the denominator, epsilon naught 4 pi r square terms are there. 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught together makes k. So finally, E outside is equals to kq by r square. Now, applying the same Gauss law on the surface of the shell, how much is the electric field? That is the second case. In the first case, what we discussed, how much is the electric field outside the shell? Now here, how much is the electric field on the shell? Now very simple it is. If you consider the electric field on the shell, in the result E outside kq by r square, if you replace small r with capital R, which is the radius of the shell, you will be getting the result. Very simple it is. What I mean, let us compress this Gaussian sphere till the extent of the shell. Very simple it is. Then what is the variable small r here? It becomes capital R. Once again, don't get confused. There is Gaussian sphere in the first case. Let us reduce the sphere radius. Let us compress the Gaussian sphere till the extent of the surface. If you compress Gaussian sphere till the extent of surface, you will be getting small r, which is equal to capital R. If you replace that small r with capital R, you will be getting the result. Very simple it is. Now, by all means, in this small Gaussian sphere also, where is that total charge? It is inside. Let us observe it now. Yes. What is our purpose here? On the surface of the shell, how much is the electric field? That is the second case. Now, what is the small r is becoming? Small r is becoming capital R because Gaussian sphere has been compressed till the extent of the shell. Shell radius is nothing but small r here. Yes, observe the charge inside. Where is that total charge inside? still inside the Gaussian sphere. Able to see? Yes. There is a ring-like shape. You can observe that. There is charge inside the Gaussian sphere. Now, electric field on the sphere is E on is equals to kq by r square. Very simple it is. In the first case, by applying Gauss law and considering its radius smaller, we have got E outside is equals to kq by r square. On the sphere, if you want the same electric field, then that smaller the variable becomes capital R. In the ring form it is, of course it is not a ring. What I mean, the charge is on the surface of the shell, but the shell itself is enclosed by a Gaussian sphere, where the Gaussian sphere has been compressed till the extent of the shell. Then smaller becomes capital R. Now, just by replacing smaller by capital R, E on the sphere is kq by r square. Now, in the third case, what we are going to find? The electric field somewhere inside the cross section. I mean inside the shell. Let us observe the cross section now. Yes, there is a center, there is a cross section. Now, somewhere inside, how much is the electric field? Let us take a point. Yes, at that point, how much is electric field? Able to see, represented in E. There is a point. At that point E, how much is the electric field? Now, to get that result, here also you are supposed to apply Gauss law. How to apply Gauss law? Very immediately we need Gaussian surface. How? What we are doing here? Let us consider Gaussian sphere by taking that same center. Let us observe it now. Observe the video carefully. Yes, there is a sphere. There is a sphere. With respect to that, now circular integral of E bar dot ds bar is equals to q in by epsilon naught. See, passing through that point, we have considered a Gaussian sphere. But inside the Gaussian sphere, is there any charge? No. So, q in here is 0. Then, applying Gauss law simply, circular integral of E bar dot ds bar is equals to q in by epsilon naught. Here, q in is 0. E inside the sphere is E in is equals to 0. So here is a conclusion. What is that? If you consider a charged shell of radius capital R and charge small q, outside it anywhere at a distance r from the center, the electric field is kq by r square. Similarly, the electric field on the surface of the sphere is kq by capital R square. Here capital R is radius of the shell. E on is equals to kq by r square. Now, anywhere inside the charged shell, it is shell. Please remember, anywhere inside the charged shell, the electric field is 0. Now, let us remember as a note. Let us remember it as a note. E outside, with what respect to? With respect to charged shell. E outside is equals to kq by r square. It is a variable small r. What is that? The distance from the center to the required point. Now, E on is equals to kq by capital R square. What is capital R here? The radius of the shell. E in anywhere is 0. E at the center is also 0. Anywhere means obviously at the center also 0. Now again, electric field of a conducting charged solid sphere. Electric field of a conducting charged solid sphere of radius capital R and charge small q. Of course, already we know conducting charged sphere and shell behaves same. Let us check it out once again. Nothing wrong in that. Yes, conducting charged shell. The charge accumulates on the surface. Consider the cross section now. Yes, there is a cross section. Where is the charge? You can observe on the surface, not in the middle, not inside. On the surface the charge is. Consider the cross section of the sphere. Consider the cross section of the sphere. Yes, that is the cross section. Anyway, the charge accumulates on the surface. Able to understand? Because of what property? Because it is conducting material. Though it is solid, it is conducting material. As it is conducting material, the total charge accumulates on the surface. Please remember that. Not only for sphere, any kind of solid it is, the charge accumulates on the surface for any conducting solid shape. Conducting solid shape. Now, for this, our purpose is to find the electric field. As usual, there is a point. There we are going to find E. Able to see in the clipping? Yes, there is a point. There is E. We are going to find it now. Now here, passing through that point, let us consider Gaussian sphere. I mean, we need some enclosed sphere to apply the Gauss law. Yes, there is a Gaussian sphere. Now, let us apply Gauss law. Yes, what is Gauss law? Phi is equals to circular integral of E bar dot ds bar. The same thing, phi is equals to Qn by epsilon naught. Clubbing both the statements, you will be getting circular integral of E bar dot ds bar is equals to Qn by epsilon naught. Now, E bar circular integral of ds bar is equals to Qn by epsilon naught. Here, what is the radius of this Gaussian sphere? I mean, the distance between the center of the solid sphere and the location, that is smaller. So anyhow, Gaussian sphere, the imagined Gaussian sphere total surface area is 4 pi r square. So E bar 4 pi r square is equals to Qn by epsilon naught. Now E is equals to Qn by epsilon naught 4 pi r square. That is equals to E outside. By all means, what we are doing here, we are finding the electric field outside the solid conducting sphere. So now E outside for what? For a conducting solid sphere. E outside is equals to kq by r square. Now consider the same cross section. On the surface, how much is the field now? Same thing, same logic. Compress this Gaussian sphere till the extent of the surface. Then small r becomes capital R. Yes. Where we are going to find the electric field? On the surface. Let us consider Gaussian sphere passing through that point. Yes, there is a Gaussian sphere. The Gaussian sphere is enclosing the total charge. Where is the total charge? Of course, inside. Now, on the surface, how much is the electric field? The electric field on the sphere is E on is equals to kq by capital R square. Just by replacing R with capital R. Yes. Now again consider the cross section. In this third case, what we are going to find? We are going to find the electric field somewhere inside the sphere, inside the conducting sphere. Now, let us consider a point. There is E somewhere at random point. Let us consider Gaussian sphere here also by taking the same center, passing through that random point. Yes, there is a Gaussian sphere. Is there any charge inside? No. Here, in this case, Q in is 0. Now, applying Gauss law, circular integral of E bar dot ds bar is equals to Q in by epsilon naught. Here in this third case, Q in is 0. Anyway, the total charge is outside the Gaussian sphere. Here, Q in is equals to 0. Hence, the electric field somewhere inside the conducting solid sphere is En. E in is equals to 0. Now, remember all four results as a note. For a conducting solid sphere, for a conducting solid sphere, outside the electric field is kq by r square. E on the sphere, the electric field is kq by capital R square. Here capital R is radius of the sphere. Anywhere inside of what? Anywhere inside of charged conducting solid sphere, anywhere inside the electric field is 0. Obviously electric field at center is 0. Consider a non-conducting uniformly charged solid sphere, non-conducting uniformly charged solid sphere of radius capital R and charge small q. Now let us observe the clipping carefully. There is a sphere. Consider the cross section. In the cross section, you can observe that the total charge is distributed over the entire material. And moreover, the material here is non-conducting. When it is conducting, what will happen? The charge accumulates on the surface. As it is non-conducting material, the charge is distributed over the solid sphere, that too uniformly. Now, here, outside the sphere, on the sphere, inside the sphere, we are going to find the electric fields. Now, firstly, we do discuss about electric field outside the sphere. Now, let us consider the center. Able to see in the video, there is a center. Center of what? Center of the cross section. There is a point, isn't it? Now, consider the cross section. Yes. If you observe that cross section, there is charge uniformly distributed. Now we are going to find the electric field outside the sphere. Yes, there is a location. At that location, we are going to find E, the electric field. Now obviously, what do? We do consider the Gaussian sphere. Before going to this Gaussian sphere, what is the distance between that center and the required location? That is small r. See, capital R is the radius of the given sphere. What is small r? Small r is the distance between center and the given location. Now, yes, there is Gaussian sphere. Now, if you observe that Gaussian sphere, how much is the total charge inside that Gaussian sphere? I mean Q in is the total charge, obviously Q. So here Q in is nothing but Q. Now applying Gauss law. Consider the Gaussian sphere. Gauss law. What Gauss law says? Flux is equals to circular integral of E bar dot ds bar. There is one more statement, flux is equals to q in by epsilon naught. Clubbing both the equations, both the statements, you will be getting circular integral of E bar dot ds bar is equals to q in by epsilon naught. In this case, how much is q in? Q. So now, circular integral of ds E bar circular integral of ds bar is equals to q in by epsilon naught, just by writing E bar outside of circular integral. Circular integral for what? For this ds bar. Circular integral of ds bar is, what is that? That is total surface area of Gaussian sphere. Total surface area of Gaussian sphere. Now, that is equals to, that implies E bar 4 pi r square is equals to q in by epsilon naught. What is this 4 pi r square? Circular integral of ds bar. Surface area of the Gaussian sphere. Now, bringing this 4 pi r square this side, into denominator, 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught becomes k. Just by replacing 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught with k, we will be getting E outside is equals to kq by r square. Kq by r square. Now, here, once again in this case, we are going to find the electric field on the sphere. Now, let us consider a point on the sphere. Observe this cross section. Yes, there is a point on the sphere. There, at that point, we are going to find the electric field. Now, how far that point is from the center? At a distance, capital R. At a distance, capital R, because the radius itself is, because we are considering a point on the surface itself. Now, consider here also the Gaussian sphere. Yes, you can observe how much is the charge inside the Gaussian sphere. The total charge, obviously, that is small q. Now, just by doing the same calculation, E on the sphere, E on is equals to kq by capital R square. What for this capital R? This capital R indicates the radius of that Gaussian sphere. When we are considering the point on the surface itself, this capital R becomes, small r, which is nothing but radius of the Gaussian sphere, and capital R, radius of the given sphere. They both are same. They both are same. Small r and what is small r? Radius of the Gaussian sphere. What is capital R? Radius of the given sphere. They both are same. So, in the formula, E outside is equals to kq by r square. Just by replacing r with capital R, you will be getting E on the surface. That is, E on is equals to kq by r square. Now, let us consider the same cross section. Now here, the obligation is to find the electric field somewhere inside the sphere. Now, observe the cross section once again. Inside that cross section, somewhere inside, let us suppose a point. Yes, there is a point. Now here, we are going to find the electric field at that point. That is, yes, passing through that point. Let us consider Gaussian sphere here also. But very obviously, you can observe that inside the Gaussian sphere, there is charge. Outside the Gaussian sphere, there is charge. But what Gauss law says, through any enclosed surface, the total flux is Qn by epsilon naught. And there is one more condition. Because of outside charges, there is no flux passing through the surface, the enclosed surface area. I mean, because of the outside charge, the flux is 0. Because of the inside charge, the total flux is Qn by epsilon naught. Now, Qin, the task here is to find charge inside. Inside of what? Inside this Gaussian sphere. Now, what is the radius of the solid sphere? Smaller. Radius of the solid sphere is capital R, not smaller. Radius of the Gaussian sphere is smaller. Observe the cross section carefully. Radius of the given solid sphere is capital R. Radius of the Gaussian sphere, what we considered, what we assumed is smaller. Now, how much is charge inside this Gaussian sphere? Charge inside this Gaussian sphere is, let us observe the terms q by 4 by 3 pi r cube into 4 by 3 pi r cube. Now, what is this first term? Q by 4 by 3 pi r cube. Before going to that, what is 4 by 3 pi r cube? The volume of the sphere. 4 by 3 pi r cube, volume of the sphere. Charge divided by volume gives us charge per unit volume. Charge per unit volume. Now, to establish charge inside, we need to follow charge per unit volume into required volume. How? Charge inside is nothing but charge per unit volume multiplied by required volume. Here, charge per unit volume is q by 4 by 3 pi r cube multiplied by what? The required volume. The required volume is 4 by 3 pi r cube, where here the r is smaller. Now, applying Gauss law. If you simplify that q in, you will be getting 4 by 3, 4 by 3 get cancelled, pi and pi get cancelled. The remaining terms are q r cube by r cube. Now, applying Gauss law. Circular integral of E bar dot ds bar is equals to Qn by epsilon naught. Implies circular integral of E bar dot ds bar is equals to Q r cube by epsilon naught. Now, here circular integral of, bring this E outside, circular integral of ds bar is 4 pi r square. I mean total surface area of Gaussian sphere. Circular integral of ds bar is 4 pi r square. Bring this 4 pi r square this side into denominator. You will be getting E bar is equals to Q r cube by 4 pi r square into epsilon naught into r cube. Please remember what is small r? Radius of the Gaussian sphere. What is capital R? Radius of the given charged solid sphere. Now, by all means, E somewhere inside. E somewhere inside. Where? At a distance smaller from the center. E somewhere inside. I mean the electric field somewhere inside. Somewhere inside. Where? At a distance smaller from the center. E inside is equals to kq r by r cube. Now, here at the center, what is the electric field? At the center. When you consider the center, then what this smaller becomes? Smaller becomes 0. If you replace that smaller 0, E at the center is 0. Now, E outside is equals to kq by r square. Please remember all this as a note. E outside of what? Of uniformly charged solid sphere. The two non-conducting uniformly charged solid sphere. E outside is equals to kq by r square. E on is equals to kq by capital R square. E in is equals to kq smaller by r cube. E at the center is equals to 0. Hope you understood well. All the best.